Hey, I'm Fred and I run the customer solutions team here at Showpad. I want to tell you a little bit about sales enablement and the key pillars that we see in the market. So I want to draw a little diagram on how we approach some of those things. I want to actually focus on customer experience because we see that as a main driver in sales enablement and how we can influence the key business metrics for an organization. So there's three key topics that we have. First one is sales productivity. So obviously, as a sales enablement solution, we need to impact sales productivity. That's key. Second one, as I said, is either customer experience or buying experience. It depends on how you look at it. Third one is marketing effectiveness or marketing agility, basically. So marketing effectiveness. So I want to focus on this one. But keep in mind that if you roll out a sales enablement solution, both this and this need to be on your radar as well. So what does it actually mean if you look at customer experience from a sales perspective, from a sales rep perspective? There's 6 key things that we actually need to keep in mind. First one, competence. So if you want to be a trusted advisor, you want to be competent. You want to be looked at as you know your stuff. You're telling me new things, you're actually helping me and bringing value in the conversation. Second one is responsiveness, meaning if you have a question, answer me quickly. As a customer, you need to give the answer, otherwise if you don't do, I'll go to your competitor. It's that easy. So responsiveness is key. Third one, credibility. So what you tell me needs to be credible, it's that easy. So making sure that the content that you share with me, that you present, needs to be credible. This ties back to what the marketing team does and having access to that content, but I'll come to that later. Personalized, so every customer is unique, or so they think. Making sure that it's personalized, that it's tailored to their challenges, to their values that they see as well. It's really important. Another one, consistency. Maybe it's common sense, but it's really, really important that in every touch point that you have with the customer, you're telling the same story, so you're consistent. Last one, buzzword, Omni-Channel, meaning that if we engage with the customer at every touch point, it needs to be actually tracked across all of those touch points. So there will be digital touch points, there will be offline, face-to-face touch points. We need to make sure that we can sync that. So CRM plays a big part. I'll talk about that as well. So what we have here is what we need to do to become a trusted advisor. So we all know about the educated buyer. We need to be basically smarter than our customer. Sounds a little bit drastic, but we need to make sure that we bring value to every touch point that we have. So if we look at from a sales enablement content perspective, how do we do this? Really important that we do it in the right way. So the first thing that we need to do, and I'm gonna draw it at the bottom, is make sure that we get all our content together. Again, sounds quite easy, but it's a big struggle for a lot of our customers as Showpad. So we need to make sure that we focus on content. So it's not only the tool, but also from a process perspective, from a marketing perspective, make sure that you can organize your content easily, that you can distribute it easily. So it's about content distribution and sharing to the sales team. We need to get this right first before we actually venture into other parts of sales enablement. 2, structure. Again, sounds easy, but aligning your content to the sales conversation, to persona-based selling, to challenge-based selling is really, really hard. So you need to make sure that the structure of your content, how you actually build it up for your salespeople to use, that you think about that. So again, the tool helps with that, but make sure that you align your processes to make sure that they match that as well. Third one, and that's where you then actually tie back into customer experience, is the experience itself. Meaning, if you have the content, you have the structure, how does the customer actually perceive you presenting the content, you sharing the content? If we're talking about responsiveness, how fast can you get the content across, and so on and so on. So we have all those tools like tablets and what have you to make sure that the experience is top-notch. Why is this built like reverse, like 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3 to the bottom? Because we need to take these steps before we do this. If you look at some of our customers that have actually built custom apps, they focus on 3 first. That means like 6 months down the line, they need to update content. Actually, it all falls down because they can't really update the content. So a key thing for a sales enablement solution is adoption, is the usage of the actual tool. That means that it needs to be fresh, it needs to be updated with content, new features need to be added, and it needs to be easy to use. So if you build a really custom app, nobody actually used it before, and then 6 months down the line, the content isn't up to date anymore, this falls down. So 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3. Really important. So if we take this as a first global step, so get the content right, structure, and then the experience, we then need to think about how does this live in the full ecosystem of my sales and marketing machine. So we need to start integrating with tools that you might already have in place, which could be CRM, marketing automation, and so on. So we need to increase the value of this to come to this customer experience, obviously, by using other tools as well. So we can augment this by using the silos that we have and connecting them. So that's the fourth piece that we need to do. 4. Fifth piece, analytics. Because if we use digital tools, we'll be tracking almost everything. So by using these analytics, we'll actually see how salespeople are behaving, which content they're using, and then we can actually, again, increase the impact of this to this. So looking at analytics, for example, then we'll be able to see credibility, for example, because if a certain piece of content isn't used, it might not be credible. So marketing gets a lot of insights. So those are the things that we need to do. Then one of the important parts is not the tool, but actually how you work as an organization, the process around it. Because new tools need new ways of working. If you don't adapt to the tool, then again the tool falls down. So this is integrating it into your operating model, meaning that marketing needs to think differently. They need to think from a customer experience standpoint. How can we actually build up the best experience with my content? Like if you look at a old style data sheet, that might not be the best way to convey the value of a product to your customers. So really think and make that into your operating model. But one last thing that's really important to actually get this show on the road, so to speak, and that sits here right at the top, is a strategic alignment. So there needs to be a drive from within the organization, from the highest regions, to actually drive this, because it will impact your whole organization, not only your sales and marketing, but also IT will be involved here as well. So there needs to be a mandate to give someone this actual task to work on customer experience in the sales cycle. So a lot of people look at customer experience digitally, it's like how is your website, how easy it is to use, but also make sure that you connect it to the early stage of the sales cycle, the face-to-face part. That's it from me. Good luck.